Excuse me? Damn it. I forgot to turn the key.
Sorry, what?
You tell me. What is it?
I need some evening wear. Quick.
Good proportions.
Thank you.
Alterations won't take long. Your name and address, sir?
Viktor Szulski, 9 Green Square.
I'll send a messenger when I'm done. Now, I'd like to go to my business.
I won't bother you.
All right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I see you went to a barber. That's something at least.
Recently I met a bearded guy who's not especially fussy about his appearance. And yes, people welcome him everywhere with open arms anyway.
Maybe he's a natural charmer. I've heard that can get you into the Imperial even without a tailcoat.
Very funny.
Are you getting dressed so we can go, or have you changed your plans?
Yes, let's go and see if I do fit in.
In that case, I'll go get changed too. Look at you. And here I worried I was the only one who looked good in trousers. Very chic choice.
We can switch places. I look better than you do, all in all.
That I'd like to see. You think Papa would be mad that we're going to a party right after his funeral?
I hope so.
Victor.
He could have kept from losing the Black Grimoire. Are we ready?
Yes, the carriage is waiting.
Welcome to the Imperial Hotel. How may I help you?
Ligia Szulska, here on the invitation of Svetlana Rumiantseva.
Yes, we are expecting you, of course. The soiree is taking place in apartment 237, second floor. I wish you a thrilling and successful evening.
I'm impressed. How did you sort that out?
Our name still means something. Let's do our best to keep it that way, all right?
Who are you, my golden slithering friend?
Victor? Victor. Victor! Can you hear me?
Yes. Of course.
These people are just waiting for us to put a foot wrong, understand? We're walking into the Viper's Den, brother.
I'm going to hang around here a little longer. I'll meet you upstairs.
See you there.
What did we come here for? These soirees are for old people.
Good evening. May I?
Please, we're not discussing anything consequential.
You keep on worrying about yourselves. I intend to make the most of this evening.
See, I told you he was in love. Miss Scowan is out of your league, my friend.
To say nothing of her father.
Excuse me, do you mean Governor General Scowan's daughter?
Well, who else? The debutante of the season.
Have you just crawled out from under a rock?
Old Scowan and I are practically on first-name terms now. You'll see.
I'm sure.
So, one eye-catching girl has already got an admirer. What does that leave us, Maxime?
Not much. The dull, the silly, or, well, the old.
En parlant de Ligia Shulska, she just passed this way.
Pigs will fly before someone fancies her.
She'd actually prefer Sophia Scowan, according to what I've heard. Well, what do you think?
My name is Viktor Shulski.
Well, there we have it.
And I don't like what I just heard, especially about my sister.
And, what are you going to do about it?
Pardon me, gentlemen. I promised that I would be well behaved tonight.
Lunatic.
Well, well, someone new.
Good evening.
Good evening, Viktor Shulski.
Irina Orlova of those Orlovs. This is Natalia Obolenskaya, and this strangely quiet soul is our delightful Sofia Skawan.
Irina is exaggerating. Nice to meet you, Mr. Shulski.
The Governor General's daughter herself. How do you do?
What can you tell us?
How are you enjoying yourselves?
We can't complain. Seeing as we're debutantes, we're getting a lot of attention.
Really?
Maybe you'll tell us something about yourself.
I suspect you want to hear more about the book.
We've never met a Thaumaturgist before. To tell the truth, I didn't believe they existed.
A Thaumaturge. Don't worry. But now you do.
Well, it depends on what kind of trick you show us, Mr. Shulski.
I need to slip away for a moment.
Oh, no, what a shame.
Mr. Shulsky?
I didn't expect to see you here, of all places.
You don't know how very flattering that is. And what brings you to the Imperial?
The cream of Warsaw society is here, so I thought it would be worth showing my face.
With a name like yours, I'm sure you fit right in. After all, someone must have invited you.
The friend of a friend of a friend is throwing this party, so you might say I know the hostess.
Rumyantseva herself? Look at you.
And who invited you?
The friend of a friend of a friend. What are you hoping for this evening?
Who knows? Maybe I'm keeping an eye out for the future Mrs. Shulska.
Best of luck. You'll need it, since Lygia ended up with the entire inheritance.
My sister didn't inherit everything.
That's right, in fact. After all, Stanisław had his little black magic book. But I don't see you carrying it.
The truth is, the Black Grimoire has gone missing.
And you're conducting a search here?
Where better to find information than a hotbed of gossip?
I cannot disagree with you there.
And what are you doing here, Mr. Konieczkin?
I'm passing the time.
Ah, curious hobby.
I'm simply interested in people.
A doctor, thaumaturge, or policeman could say the same.
Your interest flatters me. Who knows? Maybe the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree, and someday we'll even be friends.
How well did you know my tree?
We enjoyed talking and lending one another a hand.
If I may, there's one question niggling at me. How did you get so many scars?
Why do you ask?
I've heard that Russian officers in training have drunken duels with sabers after hours.
No. A very peculiar custom, if that's true.
So where did those scars come from?
I've led an interesting life.
Who did you say you were to my father?
A trusted acquaintance. I supported him with good advice. Though truth be told, he rarely needed it. Your father had a gift for making good decisions.
Which of my father's decisions would those be?
Ones that were good for your family. Perhaps we'll have the chance to return to this another time. Goodbye, Mr. Shulsky.
Yes, I'm sure.
and the general says to him, "Tell us something funny." Then Bautsky replies, "General, why don't you shoot a cannon first?"
That's a good one. I'll have to tell it tomorrow at the Orloffs.
Who might this be joining our conversation?
You know, sir, your face looks familiar to me.
My name is Viktor Szulski.
Ah, yes, I can see something in your eyes. I was sorry to hear about your father.
I'll see you next time, darling. Wonderful party.
See you there.
I think I've offended the creme de la creme of Warsaw.
This is hardly the creme de la creme. How do you find my soirée?
How is it being part of the Tsar's court?
It is a blessing and a curse. Forgive me if I do not elaborate.
I admit I'm getting reacquainted with the social scene.
You spent a long time traveling, didn't you?
15 years. Over that time, I got used to harsher surroundings.
And believe me, drawing rooms can be just as dangerous as untamed steppes. You've met Anastasia and Marina. What about the others?
I've already met several distinguished guests. Ivan Konieczkin, for instance. Apparently, he knew my father.
How remarkable. I wasn't aware. Konieczkin is something of a secretive person. And have you yet had occasion to meet the debutants of the season?
I'll be sure to seek them out.
This evening, Sofia Skowan herself is to grace us with her presence.
Well, well.
I suggest you move quickly. The competition is fierce.
The crux of the matter is that I'm here because of my father. You knew him.
That doesn't sound like a question. Of course, I was his customer. I truly am sorry for you, both of you. The death of someone close is always a dreadful blow. Please accept my condolences.
Svetlana Petrovna, I must insist. Can you tell me something more about my father?
Mr. Szulski, I assure you we have the most delectable vodka. Besides that, I warmly encourage you to join Madame Samira's séance. It will be an unforgettable experience. I wonder, is that truly everything our soirée can offer you?
I've got no choice but to suffer through tonight.
No need to mince words.
I felt something. Where is it? I was looking for you.
Do you smoke, Mr. Shulsky?
I've quit.
In light of our approaching conversation, why don't we dispense with the pleasantries? Call me Svetlana.
Victor.
Ask.
You two had an affair.
Two grown-up, lonely people found momentary comfort in each other's arms. But romance wasn't behind that relationship. It was just that we were both looking in the same direction.
I didn't have the chance to get to know him as a person, much less one who'd show such emotion.
You mean love? That?
Was it love?
I miss him, that's all.
What do you mean by looking in the same direction? The burned note. Who sent it? I only sensed underhanded kindness.
Da, the Ochrana. I don't know which one of them exactly, if that's what you're asking. I've worked hard at it.
The Ochrana?
It stands for Отделение по охранению общественной безопасности и порядка. In other words, the secret police.
I know what they are. I'd like to know what they want.
Knowledge. The Tsar's eyes and ears must be on guard. They infiltrate not only the city, but most importantly, the court. And me and my soirees too, I'm sure.
When did you receive this note?
A few weeks ago, back before your father.
I see. That large travel chest. You changed your mind.
About whether or not to pack. Right then, I wanted to escape badly, but that would have had its own consequences. In this game of false appearances, I'm the best.
I still don't know how this lovely note ended up in your hands. But in addition, I found a lovely strings of pearls, and on it, your feelings of guilt.
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
Your feelings of guilt. Do they have something to do with the Romanov court?
With the whole empire. Ruski mir im podawaj. We, the establishment, perceive the need for change. We want reform. The Colossus is already teetering, but if it falls... La guillotine, mon chéri. But I want to live, Victor. Ideally, closer to the west.
Tsarina Alexandra gave you those pearls. You two are close.
I am her confidant. I could call her my friend. I see how much she devotes to her family and the nation.
Yet something has changed. I hoped you might know something about the Black Grimoire. My father left it to me in his will, but the grimoire has gone missing.
No. And the collapsed building? Have you been there?
Not yet.
However, how hard it is, you should check there. It will give you more understanding than all the investigators put together. My dear boy, I know nothing about Stanisław's book. I'm sorry, but I can't help you there. But I will not let you leave empty-handed. I strongly believe that there's one place you ought to visit. What you find there belongs to you.
Thank you. Don't run away.
Splendid ladies, distinguished gentlemen, the hour is at hand. With lights dimmed and the curtains drawn, the souls of the dead slowly gather among us. On their command, I will give the chosen among you a tarot card as your invitation to the table. Let us gather in secret ritual. Let's not keep the souls waiting too long. Maybe that's enough. What do you want?
The trick with entering someone's head. I know one person who can do that.
You're not much of a thaumaturge if you can't. Have you come here to torment me? Unmask me?
I don't see any fun in unmasking you.
So what do you want?
I think your idea of pretending to be a medium is fantastic.
It sounds like I impress you.
How many people know?
Is that a threat?
Your siren is quite impressive.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Madame, you're being impolite. What about a little competition? We'll see who wins.
I'll pass.
I noticed a wild saluter here. I understand your being here has something to do with them in particular.
Keep your nose out of this.
Why?
Because I'm warning you.
What do you know about this Salutor? Do you know its name?
Don't you?
A name doesn't tell us much anyway. All that matters is picking out the person in this crowd with the flaw.
I know perfectly well who carries the flaw. Another reason for you to stay out of it.
The person with the flaw attended the seance, right? So I'm on the right track.
Have you finished?
That's not such a ladylike tone, madame. Maybe we should just let the best one catch that Salutor.
You mean yourself?
So, should we finish up?
That would be best. And listen to me carefully, Mr. Whatever your name is.
Shulsky, but you can call me Victor.
Now, Mr. Shulsky, you will vanish like a bad dream, and I will get back to work.
Here you are.
Gentlemen, meet my brother.
Viktor Shulsky.
The last Shulsky to wear trousers. You don't know that. Miss Ligia could yet produce an heir to the fortune. Maybe even with me, if she doesn't tell my wife. But let's talk like men. You intend to take over your father's company, correct?
First, I suggest you mind your own business. Your marriage, for instance. Perhaps Louisa isn't the ninny you take her for.
I beg your pardon?
Hasn't it occurred to you that when you leave her at home, she might also take advantage of her solitude?
What are you suggesting?
You've got a cuckold's horns. Was I being too subtle?
I suppose it's true what they say about you.
Yes? What's that?
You've lost your mind.
I've had some problems, it's true. But I'm better now. Maybe that's why I don't peek into people's undergarments.
Good luck with your business, miss.
I almost feel sorry for them.
Have I crossed the line?
Nonsense. Any progress with Svetlana?
I've taken a long, deep look at Samira. She's no medium. Samira is a thaumaturge on the hunt.
On the hunt?
Madame has spotted a salutar that's attached to one of the guests.
What kind of salutor?
Remember those fairy tales Mother used to read us? And the legend of the golden snake?
Yes, Veles.
Yes. I'm glad you're here.
Are you also hunting for him?
I admit I like to have him. I haven't made up my mind.
Be careful.
I am. That's why I haven't made up my mind. Unfortunately, Svetlana doesn't want to breathe a word of it.
I'm sure she doesn't trust you. In company like this, that speaks well of her.
Why the cold shoulder, Ligia?
I've never liked her. Her manner gets under my skin. I've heard she's a dreadful schemer.
Did you know that Papa had an affair with the host of this party?
Are you sure?
Absolutely. As sure as the Thaumaturge can be. I felt what he felt when, well, you know.
Oh, stop! That's disgusting. Quickly, change the subject.
Sofia Skawan, the Governor General's daughter. Do you know her?
No, and I don't suggest you make her acquaintance either. Skawon can't stand thaumaturges.
Guess who I ran into again? All mysterious and carved up.
Ivan Konieczkin?
What do you know about him?
Not much. He was an acquaintance of Papa's. Well, in theory, it's thanks to him that we're here.
What? Ligia?
I know that nothing comes for free, but he really didn't want anything.
Yeah, he looks like a real altruist. You enjoying yourself in this Viper's den?
Oh, the vodka is quite tolerable. I'm observing my own brother taking out his anger on ordinary mortals.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going.
Shuski, don't play with me.
I saw one of your posters. You look different in it.
Really, the illustration doesn't reflect reality.
How should I take that? No one warned me that I should get in costume for the party.
I beg your pardon.
I'm just noting that you stand out among these boring guests.
Impudent.
Just a bit uncouth, I'd say. Do you know the hostess well?
Will you leave me alone if I say I don't?
No.
Svetlana Petrovna invited me, and I am doing my best to meet her expectations. Let's keep out of one another's way.
Whose soul are you summoning tonight, dear madame?
I only know which one I'd prefer to banish. Shoot.
Maybe my dead father's. If you manage that, it would spare me a lot of trouble.
Now we'll never know.
I'll disappear. For now.
Sometimes it's good to let things go and leave other people in peace, for your own benefit.
I think I'll take up this gauntlet.
Mr. Shulsky, may I have a word?
How can I help?
My friends and I are just playing Truth Order, and now it's my turn. Won't you dazzle me with your powers?
Your father would not be thrilled about you playing games with the Thaumaturge.
Maybe that's precisely the point. To keep violating his wishes?
First, please tell me the rules of this game.
Of course, I'm being silly. After all, you've been away a long time. It's simple. Each player in turn must admit a truth or accept a dare. Anyone who doesn't must drop out of the game and thereby loses. And I don't like to lose.
I would guess that to you, a dare would be the lesser of two evils.
How very perceptive. It involves finding out my comrades' secrets, Irina, Maxim, or Sergei. The trick is that you're cleverer at it than I am.
I accept.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Let me see what I can find. Will any secret do?
Any. I'll wait anxiously for your return.
I'll take a look around.
They're getting impatient. What have you found out?
Maxim only has one thing on his mind. Miss Irina.
Oh, I knew it! Might Irina return his interest?
Miss Irina would like to get to know Maxim better, but she keeps hesitating.
What? She never told me. Some friend she is.
Oh, I was wondering where you'd gone off to.
You know Sergei, don't you?
We're already acquainted.
Mr. Shulsky and I have completed my extra difficult dirt together.
At your service.
Now, time for truth. Are you seeing anyone?
My heart is already taken.
I was counting on a different response.
Mr. Shulsky, our time is up. Sophia and I must leave for the seance. Madame is waiting.
Thank you once more.
See you. Therefore, Veles chased Sofia Skawan and her floor here. She seemed like such an innocent girl, didn't she? It's no coincidence she focused on me. After all, old Skawan hates Thaumaturges. The little scamp. If I want to discern that little schemer's flaw, I'll have to join that sepulchral table. Either her scheming or her jealous knight in shining armor will help me identify her flaw. I hope her father doesn't find out.